Okay, I think I'm live. Hi. Right, just me on this particular stream. Unless somebody pops in and joins me, anyone in my server that may be watching this is very welcome to join as always. But yep, no, just the me this time. And basically, I needed to have a little chat with the world about China because there's been an awful lot of stuff about China in the news lately. And some of it has been getting me rather irritated, to say the least, because it's as if, let's start from the beginning, shall we? This recent thing with Blizzard. Blizzard have recently taken the prize away from and banned a player for winning the Hearthstone Championships, and then mentioning that he was a supporter of the Hong Kong protests. They have since, I believe, given him his prize money back, but done on the quiet. And then there's some more stuff about AMBA and various companies coming out in a big way in support of China, and they are either extraordinarily naive or just literally selling out and sucking down on that Chinese dollar and turning a blind eye to the just vile human rights violation that is China. Let's start at the beginning with regards to the Hong Kong protests. Hong Kong, former Chinese colony, was signed back over to China, 97, going live as of 99, and for the past 19 years has slowly been transforming itself over to be a member of China. And the concept was for about 100 years at least, it would remain a separate entity to China, and that it would have separate laws, and everything else, but it would be part of China in name, but more and more rapidly it has become an actual part of China. And then they started sort of essentially free extraditing prisoners from Hong Kong straight over to China. That had Chinese people very unhappy, and they have started to protest, and protest they have in very large numbers. And this has been going on for at least 4 or 5 months now. And the police have recently started shooting people in the streets. Only on a couple of occasions now that we've caught on camera, but we have caught people literally being shot in the chest, point blank range, with handheld firearms by the police. We have also seen something like a 300% increase in suicides in China. In Hong Kong, rather. In particular, was this particular case here. I don't have her name. If I could read Chinese, I probably would have a name. But Chan, a student, very pretty girl, was found in Hong Kong harbour, naked and dismembered, following an interview by the Hong Kong police. And she was known to be a protester in the Hong Kong protests. She was interviewed by the police, found shortly after naked, dismembered, and drowned in Hong Kong harbour, and the Hong Kong police wrote it up as suicide. How they can call themselves police at this point, I don't know, because looking into this a little more deeply, and it's difficult to actually get any accurate source material on this because nobody wants to put their name to it as first-hand witnesses, but it seems that there have been a significant number of these suicides. An awful lot of them tend to be under 18-year-old girls, and an awful lot of them seem to have suffered sexual assault as well. Basically, what it looks like at the present moment is the Hong Kong police are literally detaining, torturing, raping, and then murdering protesters. Pulling anything together that is in any way, shape or form cohesive on that is difficult. It seems to be a lot of hearsay, but there is a lot of that hearsay at the present moment. And I'm inclined to believe this, because this is not the first time we've heard of fairly appalling acts coming out of China. You only need to look back throughout their history, and it has been a bloody nightmare. I'm not saying bloody as in swearing, oh, bloody hell. No, I mean it is covered in blood. The Tiananmen Square massacre, 1989, which we recently had, the 30th year anniversary of it. Not that China would admit to anything happening there, where they massacred students in the streets of Tiananmen Square for standing up against the communist Chinese regime. It is happening again in Hong Kong. We know that there are tanks on the border of Hong Kong waiting to go into Hong Kong. The reason they haven't is that the world's media is looking at Hong Kong at the moment, and China are actually holding off on it because they think it might look bad if they start squashing their protesters. But nonetheless, they are threatening to crush the protest in quite strong terms. And this isn't the only crime that China commits. I've heard it recently mentioned on a stream. Someone finally actually mentioned a group called the Falun Gong. And Falun Gong, let me get this straight. People were talking about actually the Uyghur Muslims being put into camps and force-fed pork products and alcohol as part of their re-education into communist Chinese culture, shall we say. And further news came out that they were also, on occasion, it seems, being harvested for their organs. These weren't people that had died and then donated their organs for transplant. No, these people who were alive were taken from their homes and hollowed out by the Chinese authorities whilst they were alive. Now, this has horrified people that heard about this, but this is not news to me. This is old news. In fact, you only need to go onto Wikipedia, and you can find an article about organ harvesting from Falun Gong practitioners in China. This is an old article. This has been here, and they've been protesting. There was a protest outside the European Parliament in 2016. That's 3 years ago. That the Falun Gong practitioners were literally being dragged off the streets by the Chinese authorities and not seen from again. And the hollowed out husks of their bodies were dumped after their organs had been removed from them. They were literally being farmed for their interior furniture. Heart, liver, kidneys. Why? Because these people happen to be rather healthy. They do an awful lot of Tai Chi and Qigong and all of that good martial arts stuff that happens to lead to people being particularly healthy of body. And as a result, their organs are nice and healthy. And as a result, anyone that happens to have the dollar to spend on and the need for a new heart or kidney or liver, well, the place they go to is China, because China can rustle up the right heart or kidney or liver or whatever it is you need on the spot for you, because they have a large population, and you happen to have a particular blood type. Well, they find someone with your blood type and they will knock them on the head, whip out the heart for you, and plonk it into your fresh chest cavity where your black heart that was trying to kill you and that needed replacing. And then off you go. You can have a nice fresh heart from someone who was just busy practicing their Tai Chi. China will happily do that for the money. And 2016 is a minor date. I have heard rumours of this practice going off for many years. Without going into too many details, have personal experience of this. Not me actually personally, but members of shall we say, friends of members of my family had significant ill health back in the 1990s, and they were told then that if they needed a heart transplant and they couldn't get one immediately, to travel to China, and it could be arranged for them to have a heart transplant that day they landed, if they had the right amount of money. How do they do that? They butcher to order. This is China. This is the people you buy your rubber dog shit from, your cheesy little plastic cell phones from. Yeah, oh, it's great. We like Chinese stuff because I can get it off Alibaba for so cheap. It's great. And all it costs is the human rights of the people that live there. China, how was it put? The guy, here we go. Let's see if we can find
Donald Trump, don't trust China. China is asshole.
Put beautifully by one of the Hong Kong protesters just recently. Don't trust China. China is asshole. Too fucking right. They are the worst country certainly in the second world. I'm not going to count Africa and places like Somalia where it is literally he who has the gun rules. That's a whole different matter. But China is a country that we in the West, we do business with on a daily basis. We do billions, if not trillions, of pounds and dollars worth of trade with every single day. And the amount of noise we have heard in the last 2 or 3 years of, oh, Boris, the Tory government and Brexit is terrible, we're horrible racists, and Donald Trump is terrible, what a horrible monster he is. And at the same fucking time, these same NBA cunts, who refuse to take the fucking stand and salute their flag, have the fucking audacity to tell everybody how wonderful China is. Take a fucking look at the blood on your hands, you fucks. It's a fucking disgrace. China, we should embargo China. We should stop all trade from China. Completely. Starve them out. Let them live off their palm oil and their rice. And their now rapidly diminishing pork stocks, because they are currently undergoing a plague on all of their pork products. All of their pigs are having to be exterminated. China is in a very weak position. Economically, they're strong. But if we stop trading with them, they would be on their knees, begging for help very quickly. And we must do this. We embargo. The United Nations, the countries of the Western world are famous for embargoing and treating countries that have poor human rights. We embargo them. We crush them economically, if not militarily sometimes. And China is possibly the worst, and they get away with it every single time. Tiananmen Square, I thought, as a small child, back in '89, I was only a little wee mini trig back then, but I thought, holy crap, we're actually going to march over there and deal with China. No. Nothing. Crickets. Fucking crickets. Last year, the head of Interpol. See if we can bring this up. I can find. Here we go. Chinese government admits the head of Interpol under investigation after disappearance. That was October the 8th last year. You know what happened? The head of Interpol went over to China and he managed to send a text message to his wife, which was basically a code. I think it was a little text emoji of a dagger, and that's all we heard from him. He went over there doing an investigation into something. We don't know the details. I understand it was members of the Chinese government, and he disappeared. The head of Interpol. Big news. It made CNN and various other newspapers. Look, CNN right there. October the 8th, 2018. A year ago. It made the news for about 2 days. Nobody wanted to talk about it. They disappeared the head of Interpol, International Police Organization. These people are Interpol are supposedly untouchable. They're supposed to be one of the most powerful organizations out there. You don't mess with Interpol. They have all manner of power. And China just went, nope, gone. Zip out of existence. Deleted. And all these little guys over in China, now they are. Oh, this is Falun Gong people. They are hiding their faces. They are running for cover, and they have they're creating. This is what I'm looking for. This was in Business Insider the other day. They are creating masks and clothing that will disguise their faces from the surveillance cameras that Hong Kong are installing all over the place. Something like 500 megapixel cameras that will take details of your face, and then they will know who you are, and then they will arrest you, which is what they've been doing. These protesters, they are getting yeeted off the streets, and you know, the poor sods, they've got no comeback. They are unarmed and fighting for their very life, fighting for freedom. Where was it yesterday? There was a great little video of a protester defending a fellow protester from the police, flying kick to the police. And here we go. Found the picture I was looking for. See if we can get a picture of this up. It's not a. Look at that. Bruce Lee is alive and well and fighting for freedom in China. Hello, a flying kick. But that's all they've got. They've got their hands and their feet. And little handheld lasers and an umbrella. Against, I use the term police officers loosely, goon squads. Goon squads in riot gear that shoot them, beat them, arrest them, rape them, and maybe even murder them. I don't know. We don't have proof. We just have the numbers of the massive increase in suicides that are being found in all manner of states of disrepair. I mean, naked and dismembered. That's a hell of a way to commit suicide. I don't know, if I was going to commit suicide, not that I ever would commit suicide, but I wouldn't. Who dismembers themselves? I mean, really? That's not a way you commit suicide. People commit suicide by taking pills or cutting arteries and stuff like that, and they do it as painlessly as possible because they want to end their pain. They don't chop their limbs off. They don't cut their stomach open and pull their guts out all over the floor. That's not how you commit suicide. Dismemberment. Suicide by dismemberment. Yeah, that sounds legit. So yeah, no. China is... It's fucking terrifying is what it is. And yet, every day we still continue to buy their shit. We buy cheap goods off Alibaba. We put up with it. We get sidetracked by idiocy like this. Like Kathy Griffin. I'm gonna play this because I really enjoyed this.
Did
you see this earlier today?
We're gonna rip your son
People getting upset about memes
and throw him in a cage full of pedophiles.
because
Let them have.
Donald Trump's terrible. Obviously, clearly. See, this is world-class news at the present moment. This meme, this silly little video taken from Kingsman and edited to have Donald Trump on it. This is what the international media is upset about. Not upset about 15-year-old Chen or whatever her name was getting dismembered. They're not upset about the Falun Gong getting harvested for their organs. They're not upset about the Uyghur Muslims getting harvested for their organs. They're not upset about the fucking countless amounts of intellectual property theft that goes off with China. They don't give a shit about that. No, they give a shit. They want you going, oh, Orange Man bad because of the edgy meme. I'm going to keep playing this because I love me some Freebird, and this is a great scene. And what are they going to do? Demonetize me? Bring it! Monetize me first, motherfuckers! Yeah. Whoever did this is great work. Kingsman, by the way. Worth seeing. You should all see it. And if we're talking about movies to see, The Joker. Whoa, that's a very good film. I'll get round to talking about that at another point, but... Yep. This is all the news I wanted to talk about today. Donald Trump, Orange Man bad. Why? Because his fans make edgy memes. Anyway. Oh, I love this. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked playing stuff I shouldn't be. But yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about, was China. China. The fucking state of that country. There's their glorious leader. God bless FaceApp, eh? You know what? There's no making him look pretty, is there? Yeah, this guy's a monster. And we continue to trade with these people, and we should stop. We should cut them out. Fuck them. Fuck their internet. Embargo it. They want a firewall? Fine, they get a firewall. They want a firewall what information goes in and out of China. We should build another firewall right on the other side of it. And cut them off completely. We don't want that fucking shit. Tencent can go fuck itself. Every single company that comes out of China is a Chinese state company. It is a communist state. There are no private companies there. So any single person from the West, from any government that ends up working for a Chinese company like Huawei, like Tencent, if you find out a politician from your country is working, or one starts working for someone like Huawei, he is working for a foreign government. He is essentially a traitor. We used to know how to deal with traitors. Some of us still do. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that.